evening, sir.
Good evening, Kaya.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ishan.
Good evening, sir.
Sunita. Where is your homework, Sunita? Sunita.
Sir, nowadays I'm not getting time.
Okay, Sunita. Mhm. You're busy
Good evening,
with
sir.
relocating your shop. Hello, Zafri.
Hello, sir.
Zafri. Oh, okay. I think I need to walk a little bit. Sitting continuously for 5 hours is not very nice. This way.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hey, Simran, your sister is behind you. Isn't she?
No, it's not my sister. They are my roommates.
Ah, okay. But they look like your Didi. And the girl, the
Oh,
one who was behind you, she looked like your Didi.
she?
No, no, the other one. Hi, how are you doing?
Okay, she?
Yeah, yeah. She definitely looked like your Didi a little bit. And she looked like a
Okay.
girl I knew, Shikha. I had a girl, class. She looked more like Shikha. Yeah, nice. They are good, friendly girls. They didn't mind being on
Yes.
camera.
No.
You're cooking for all of them. You're cooking for all of them.
Yeah, I am cooking aloo paratha.
Love, lovely. Aloo paratha. Ah, one thing good about life, being alive is you eat. One good thing about
Yes.
being alive is you
Yeah,
eat,
now we
right?
understand that we can't survive on Maggie and all that stuff. So we are decided to cook ourselves. When
Yeah.
med come, they she will come. But right now we can do.
Yeah. In this kind of situation, there is a remark, a phrase which you can use for humor. It has dawned upon us that we cannot survive on Maggie. It has dawned
Yes.
upon us. The exaggeration वाला expression. अब हमें पता चल गया है। देखो मैंने जो बोला ना, उसने कहा वी हैव रियलाइज, ठीक है, बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है ये। ह्यूमर क्रिएट होता है अगर आप वहां पर बोल देते इट हैज डॉन्ड अपॉन अस, ओके, दैट वी
Don't spelling, sir.
द सेम DAWN, dawn,
Okay, dawn.
सुबह
Okay.
वाला dawn, morning moment, dawn upon us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Good evening, sir.
Good
If
evening,
something
sir.
dawns upon you, good evening everybody. If something dawns upon you, तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ दोस्तों? If something dawns upon you, तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? You realize it, you acknowledge it, right? If something dawns upon you, okay? ऐसे देखते हैं ना? हेलो इमराना, देखो मैं फिर बता रहा हूँ, वोकैबलरी सीखना एडवांस्ड लेवल का आसान नहीं होता। सारे लोग उसकी हिंदी पूछते हैं, मैं ऐसे ही पढ़ाता हूँ वोकैबलरी। मैंने कहा समथिंग डॉन्स अपॉन यू, यानी कोई चीज डॉन अपॉन करेगा आप पे, समथिंग डॉन्स अपॉन यू, ओके, देन यू रियलाइज इट, यू फील इट। And I said to Simran, it dawned upon us that we cannot survive on Maggie and fast food. मतलब we have realized, right? Okay,
And
if an
sir,
idea
something
dawns,
clouded upon us. Does this exist?
come again, Sumit, if something.
Clouded upon us.
मेरे को कोई बस वो दूर निकाल के दे दो,
I have
मेरी
no
आटा
idea
वाली
of
हाथ है।
clouding on अच्छा, ये फ्रेज जो है मैंने सिखाया है, dawn upon, ये खाली इसलिए नहीं, अपने पढ़ा है कहीं क्लॉड अपॉन, या अभी मैंने सुनने के बाद पता लगे?
I'm not sure, but I think
मेरे बोलने के
related
बाद,
something. Yeah.
no, I'm not sure about it either. I
Okay, sir.
haven't heard of that. I know if something clouds your mind, then it confuses you. If
Yeah,
something clouds your mind, then it
I think
confuses.
yeah, that is what I have heard earlier.
Yeah. So hello Rasana, hello Diana, and let me tell you, this is the method of learning vocabulary at an advanced level. No mother tongue interference. At an advanced level, upper intermediate level, You cannot bring your mother tongue into the picture. Otherwise, you will never feel that word. Okay? So, Rasan, I was
Good.
teaching, hello, Diana. I was teaching an expression, dawn upon. You see, Simran is in the kitchen cooking something, The girls thought, that they would live on Maggie and fast food and this and that. They didn't want to cook, but they have realized that they must cook. It is necessary, okay? They have realized it. So I said, it has dawned upon them that they need real food. They can't live on fast food and Maggie and stuff. Okay. It has dawned upon me one day, something like I said, normally you use the expression for an idea that suddenly you realize and you become convinced about it. Yeah. Okay. So,
Sir, I
um,
have got two words today. I wanted to know something about them. Like first is rational. Can we use the word rational as a noun?
the rationale, the pronunciation is rationale, not rational then, okay? The
Okay.
rational is an adjective, but the word rational is pronounced rationale, and then you use it as a noun. What is the rationale of the decision, of your decision? Means the logic, okay?
Yeah.
Reasoning, rationale.
Okay. And sir, another word is resilience. Is it a positive word? Do we use it in a positive sense or a negative sense?
Which
The
word you're
word
saying, Sumit?
resilience.
Ah, okay. Depends. Normally, if you are talking about human,
Excuse me, sir.
resilient people are not someone who easily give up, okay? They're not
Excuse
some.
me, sir.
Yes, Simran.
Can you, can you excuse me for 5 minutes?
Sure,
5 or
sure.
10 minutes?
Yeah, you can turn your camera off. No problems. Okay.
No,
Don't.
no, I am going to leave. I am getting a
Okay,
call.
come back later. No problems.
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
can understand
Yes, sir.
how difficult it's gonna be for you now with all this extra responsibility of tea cooking and all. Okay. So be people, आपको लेके जाना वहां जाओ, आप ऐसे vocabulary सीखने लग जाएं। जब मैं कोई हिंदी वर्ड ना बोलूं, सीधे बोलूं, something dawns upon you. If people are resilient, अब देखो resilient की मीनिंग बताने के लिए मैं कैसे बोल रहा हूं, ठीक है, ताकि आपको मतलब समझ में आए। If people are resilient, तो इसका मतलब ये adjective will describe people, पहले ये बताया मैंने।
Yes, sir.
Isn't it clear that the
Yes, sir.
word this adjective describes people? When I said people are resilient, then they don't give up in difficult situations. When they have hardships, they don't give up. They keep trying because they're resilient. Okay.
Okay.
So resilient
Yeah.
is an adjective. And the quality that you derive from resilient people is called resilience. I admire your resilience. Okay. So that is one thing. Now, the word resilient can be used for virus and other things as well. Okay. But now actually the word changes a little bit and it becomes resistant rather than resilient. Okay. The word
Yeah. I
becomes,
know resistance.
yeah. So see, right now, maybe we are doing the pre-intermediate class, but what we are doing right now is advanced level vocabulary learning, guys. Okay. Some people have poor English language skills, very poor language skills, and they want to learn advanced level vocabulary that will be asked in exams like CAT, MAT, CDS and Bank PO. Impossible. As long as you are looking for their Hindi equivalent, you will never appreciate those words really, the true meaning of those words.
Yes,
It is
sir. Like right now, I knew only the meaning of resilience, that is lachilapन, and what you explained right now is totally new to me.
whoever has told you Lachila fun of the word
I
resilience.
Google, I googled it actually.
Okay, Google knows nothing about English.
Yeah.
When you ask Google to translate it into Hindi, it will more often than not give you wrong answers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
By the way, if you really think about lachilapan, which is also quality of human beings, you adjust to the situation when you are lachila, right? The word is flexible, not resilient.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, normally flexible people are more resilient. Resilient people can be flexible as well, because when you are not flexible, it is difficult to be resilient, right? Because
Yes,
the
sir.
situation wants you to change a little bit, you do, so that you can bounce back later.
Yeah, we can adapt any situation, even if
Adapt to the
it is.
situation, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, then. Where do we go from here? First of all, there was a question. What was the question? I said I'll give a good explanation. Undervalue, okay? So there are some words, small words, which are called prefixes. We'll study them, in days to come. Prefixes, they come before a word and transform the meaning in a certain way. They change the meaning in a certain way. Under means to lower. Over means to increase, okay? Take it higher. If you overvalue something, then you are calculating the value which is higher than the actual value, okay? If you overvalue a quality, if you overvalue a product, if you overvalue something, then you are putting a price or a value which is higher than it deserves. Overvalue something, undervalue something, to not understand the real value of something, to calculate it the wrong way and underestimate it. Undervalue, okay? Don't undervalue the power of listening when you're learning English, okay? The value of listening, okay? And Zafri wrote a good sentence, we often undervalue the importance of the homework or something like that. Undervalue is another word for underestimate. Now, what do we do next? Ravi is saying, you look just as happy today as you did yesterday. Are you using today's makeup on your face? किसका लाइन चिपका दिया तूने मुझे, रवि? रवि, किसका लाइन चिपका दिया?
किसी का नहीं सर।
तो क्या बोलना चाहते थे?
यही कि कुछ तो डिफरेंट लग रहा है कल से आज।
कल से अलग लग रहे हैं। पहले
और
लाइन
क्या?
वैसा नहीं। यू लुक जस्ट एज हैप्पी टुडे एज यू डिड यस्टरडे। मैंने पक्का बोलना है कि लड़का ये लाइन कॉपी करके मेरे को चिपकाया है। मेरा ही
नहीं
स्टूडेंट
सर,
है, गलती मेरे को पता है क्या करेगा, कहाँ गलती
नहीं
कर।
सर, कहीं से नहीं किए हैं कॉपी। अभी सामने ही बैठे हैं, बस लिख दिए हैं, ऐसे मन में आया लिख दिए।
चलो एक और सेंटेंस बनाओ ऐसा। हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या? चलो मैं आपको देता हूं सिचुएशन, ठीक है? जब हम आपके उम्र में आएंगे ना सर, तो आपसे दुगना पैसा कमाएंगे। चलो बनाओ, क्या जितना आप कमाते उतना कमाएंगे। चलो ऐसे बोलो। रवि, कैमरा का एंगल तो सही कर ले भाई, बॉडी दिखा पूरा। मेरे स्टूडेंट मेरे से चीटिंग करेंगे? पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, ओके? कोशिश भी ना करो, फायदा ही क्या है? क्या मिलता है तुमको? कुछ मिलता है क्या? मैं बताता हूं, तुम कॉम्प्लिकेट करते हो चीजों को अपनी एक पर्सनालिटी कमजोरी से। दोस्तों, ये ख्वाहिश, ये गंदी ख्वाहिश है। मैं गंदा वर्ड इसलिए यूज कर रहा हूं क्योंकि ये लर्निंग के खिलाफ जाती है। गाइस, अगर आप कहीं से कॉपी किए तो बताएंगे ना, देखिए सर कितना अच्छा सेंटेंस पढ़े। ये बोलना चाहिए ना आपको। Is it morally correct to claim somebody else's writing to be your writing? Is it morally correct? बात खत्म है। रवि, आप कॉम्प्लिकेट करते हैं चीजों को, और मेरी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, मैं अनदेखा नहीं कर सकता। आई कांट इग्नोर सच थिंग्स बिकॉज मुझे पता है इसके साइड इफेक्ट्स, इसलिए दूर तक जाते हैं।
Sir, I will earn, I will earn
money
and
uh,
as much
when I
as
will
you.
at your age.
क्या है वो पैटर्न का ही नहीं फॉलो करे जो लिखा है तुमने? क्या
As
हुआ?
much as
क्या हुई? रवि, कैसे कैसे
नहीं
लोग।
सर, सीरियसली पैटर्न हमने कहीं से लिया नहीं, बस आया और लिख दिए।
तो अब ये वही पैटर्न फॉलो करो जो आया। अब ये लाइन बोलो। मुझे पता है कैसे लोग सीखते हैं, और जब अपना लिखते हैं तो उनमें क्या क्या चाहता है। हाँ, सुन के किसी को याद कर सकते हैं, अब वो लेवल पे आ गए कि सुंदर सुंदर सेंटेंस आप देखेंगे कहीं पे आपको समझ में भी आ जाएगा, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू रिप्रोड्यूस दैट सेंटेंस समवेयर, बट उसके जैसा एक और सेंटेंस बना लो तब वो तुम्हारा कहला सकता है। ओके, इफ यू कैन फॉलो द पैटर्न, आई चैलेंज यू रवि, कम ऑन, टेक द चैलेंज। Yeah, please. Yes, and the windows.
I
दोस्तों,
will earn more money as you did today.
इसलिए मैंने कहा था रवि, मैं तुम्हें सिखा रहा हूं तो तुम मुझसे भाग नहीं सकते कि तुम क्या जानते हो क्या नहीं जानते हो, मुझे पता है। ये मत किया करो, मेरे लिए ये एनर्जी वेस्टिंग और टाइम वेस्टिंग सिचुएशन है। प्लीज, आई डोंट वांट टू बी एंगेज्ड इन दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन, प्लीज अवॉइड दिस। और ये मैं सारे लोगों को कहता हूं, नेवर डू समथिंग लाइक दिस। आप कहीं अच्छा सेंटेंस देखो, मुझे बताओ ना कि देखो ना सर कितना अच्छा सेंटेंस देखे, कितना अच्छा लिखा हुआ है, आई विल लव दैट, बिकॉज इसमें आपसे मुझे दिखेगा ऑनेस्टी, ट्रांसपेरेंसी कि आप सीख रहे हैं उससे भी। ठीक है, ये क्या क्या आपने कहीं सेंटेंस देखा और आपने आके चिपका दिया मुझे और कह दिया कि हम लिखे हैं, इज दिस फेयर एट ऑल? क्योंकि उसमें क्या ग्रामर लगता है, मुझे पता है ना क्या ग्रामर लगेगा, वो बताने के लिए क्या क्या सोचना पड़ेगा, और आप क्यों नहीं कर पाए अभी अचानक से जब मैंने कह दिया कि अच्छा चलिए वही फॉलो करिए, पैटर्न वही करिए। वहां क्या ही डिड लिखा था इसने, बताएगा? नहीं बता पाएगा। और जब डिड लिखा तो अभी क्यों बोल रहा है डिड? जब मैंने कहा था कि हम आपके जितना पैसा कमाएंगे जब हम बड़े हो जाएंगे, आपकी उम्र में आएंगे, तो कहाँ गया वो? बस वही बात है कि तुम क्यों करते हो ये, क्यों रवि? इतने अच्छे से सब कुछ चल रहा था, क्या जरूरत थी? तुम कैसे हस्बैंड साबित हो गए यार? तुम ना बार बार पकड़े जाओगे लड़कियों के साथ और उसको बोलोगे नहीं मेरी बहन है, नहीं वो मेरी बहन है, ऐसे करने लगोगे, तुम पकड़े जाओगे तो। यार क्यों करते हो ऐसा, यार क्यों करते हो? एक कई हस्बैंड्स करते हैं, अरे भाई सीधे सीधे रहो, बोल दो कि हाँ थोड़ा सा चल रहा है, अरे क्या होगा, क्या होगा, ठीक है? ऐसा नहीं करते रवि, दिस इज नॉट राइट, ओके, दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली नॉट राइट।
Sir, is this a correct sentence that uh, she tried to rationalize her fears of height? This sentence
Very
is
good
given
sentence.
by the
Very
Google.
good sentence, and I'll talk about it. But before we have to reach a conclusion, Ravi, are you being sorry? Are you saying sorry for what you did? Because मैं ये चीज को अप्रूव नहीं करता। आप लोग मेरे साथ ऑनेस्ट रहेंगे अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए, अपने लर्निंग के लिए, तो मैं आपकी मदद कर सकता हूँ। आई एम नॉट इन टू प्लेइंग गेम्स विद एनीबॉडी, किसी भी कीमत पे नहीं। मैंने पढ़ते के साथ बोला कि लाइन चिपका दिया, बोल देता हाँ सर कहीं देखे थे, बड़ा अच्छा लगा था तो सच आपको बोल देते हैं। ये भी हो सकता था ना, इससे हमारा बॉन्ड बेहतर होता कि खराब होता? रवि भाई
बेहतर होता।
सुनो,
चलिए।
मैं आपके आपके जो अब तक आप बड़े हुए हैं ना, आप लोग अपनी अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ बड़े हुए हैं, ठीक है? मैं समझता हूं सब चीजों को, लेकिन प्लीज ये जगह है उनसे बाहर निकलने का, उसको उससे बेहतर करने का, उसको पकड़ के नहीं रखने का। ये मेरा मैसेज सुनीता के लिए भी है। मैं आप लोग के साइकोलॉजिकल रीजन समझता हूं, कुछ करने के पीछे की वजह समझता हूं कि क्यों करते हो आप ऐसा। आई अंडरस्टैंड योर साइकोलॉजी इज वेल, और मुझे पता है वो साइकोलॉजी कितनी परेशान करने वाली है आपको। आई एम एड्रेसिंग दैट। आप अपने वो खाई में लटके हुए हाथ जो दे रहा है उसको नहीं पकड़ रहे हो यार, कैसे समझदारी है ये? किसी दिन छूट के गिर जाओगे। Sunita is doing the same thing, I'm telling you guys. You don't join a class to show how much English you know. You join a class to learn, to add something to what you already know. First, understand the purpose of being in a class. This is not the place where you show off what you know. The whole world is your arena. Okay? Go step out of this room and show off, and I'll be the most proud person. Okay? When you do well. But here, with me, try to grow. Grow in the most natural and honest and transparent way. Ravi, don't keep quiet. It never helps me, my situation. If you have done something, you need to acknowledge it, move on. sir, this was just a silly thing I did, or whatever, I'm ready to forgive it. But just you need to acknowledge at least. People will forgive you when you acknowledge what you are doing. If you keep insisting something, then it becomes a problem, right? How can I trust you next time? Tell me. If you don't acknowledge it now, is it smart?
सर मैंने कहीं से कॉपी नहीं किया, मेरे माइंड में आया, मैंने लिख दिया, हाँ ये मेरी गलती है कि मैं उस चीज को दोबारा फॉलो नहीं कर पाया या उस पैटर्न को मैं समझ नहीं पाया, लेकिन मैंने कहीं से कॉपी नहीं किया अभी।
जो चीज तुम्हारे दिमाग में आएगा उसके पहले उसकी रीजनिंग समझ में आ जाती है, कैसे दिमाग में आ जाता है। चलो बोलना है तुम्हें सेंटेंस कि किसी को बोलना है कि आई हैव सीन हर समवेयर, तो सीन उसके दिमाग में क्यों आया? क्योंकि उसको पता है कि V3 की जरूरत है कि ऐसे ही आया है, ये पूछ रहा हूं। क्योंकि सी भी मतलब देखना होता है, सॉ मतलब भी देखना होता है, सीइंग मतलब भी देखना होता है, सीज मतलब भी देखना होता है। तो वो सीन ही क्यों बोला है वहां पे? उसके दिमाग में पहले से इसका आइडिया है कि ऐसे ही हो गया बाई चांस। दैट्स व्हाट आई एम आस्किंग एवरीबॉडी, प्लीज आंसर। रवि, वो ऐसे ही हो जाता बाई चांस की उसके पीछे वजह होती है, आपको पता रहता है कि हाँ सीन क्यों बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे?
मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं होता, मेरे साथ होता कि वो बस वो वर्ड अगर रिमाइंड हो गया तो मैं वो बोल देता हूँ, पर मैं उस पैटर्न को फॉलो नहीं कर पाता कि ये ऐसा क्यों हुआ या ऐसा हो क्यों रहा है।
नहीं, सारे तुम्हारा कोइंसिडेंस ऐसा है कि सारी चीजें सही हो गई हैं, ठीक है, सारी चीजें सही हो गई। देखो दोस्तों, सेंटेंस है, यू लुक जस्ट एज हैप्पी टुडे एज यू डिड यस्टरडे। ठीक है, चलो मैं इससे 3-4 सवाल पूछूंगा, किसी का जवाब दे दीजिए। ठीक है, जस्ट की पोजीशन वहां क्यों है? हैप्पी के पहले क्यों नहीं है? टुडे के बाद क्यों नहीं है? जहां है वहां क्यों है? कोई जवाब देना होगा, कुछ तो देना होगा। और जब आप किसी और का आंसर लेके लेके बैठे होते तो आप बता सकते हो कि ऐसा चीटिंग जब होता है ना एग्जाम में, तो जब ऐसे हम लोग की जगह पे नहीं, हम लोग की जगह पे किसी को पड़ी नहीं किसने किसकी चीटिंग की है। ओके, इट्स टोटली नॉर्मल। बट इन मेनी स्कूल्स अब्रॉड यू इट्स द वर्स्ट थिंग। आपको हो सकता है ना हमेशा के लिए लाल दाग लगा दे कि इसने एग्जाम में चोरी किया, सब जगह चलेगा आपके साथ ये चीज कि आपने एग्जाम में चोरी किया। तो हेलो, तो मुझे बता दें कि जस्ट की पोजीशन वहां क्यों है? आपने वहीं क्यों रखा उसको?
और
आप
ईयरफोन
बता
ला के
दें।
दो।
जो दिमाग में चला तो वो बताइए। हम रीजन, हम कोई साइंस नहीं पूछ रहे, ग्रामर नहीं पूछ रहे, आपके दिमाग में जो चला तो वो बताइए।
जो बना रही है जरा बनाना 10 गो।
जस्ट की पोजीशन वही क्यों है जहां है, ये बताइए मुझे। आपके दिमाग से आपने जो सोचा था वो बताइएगा, मुझे सही आंसर नहीं चाहिए, आपके दिमाग में जो चला वो चाहिए, राइट? क्योंकि आप तो चलाए होंगे ना, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि कोई भूत प्रेत जिन जिनात आपके सिर पे आए और उसके बाद आपके मुंह से वर्ड।
क्योंकि मुझे अभी आप हैप्पी दिख रहे थे इसलिए मैंने लिखा।
हाँ, तो जस्ट की पोजीशन वो क्यों है, मैंने ये पूछा, वहां पर क्यों, उससे कैसे लिखा आपने उसको?
अभी आप हैप्पी दिख रहे हैं इसलिए।
हाँ, तो मैं भी मान रहा हूं कि मैं अभी दिख रहा हूं। जस्ट को एज के पहले क्यों लिखा आपने, हैप्पी के पहले क्यों नहीं लिखा? मेरे कुछ फैमिली के मेरे कुछ रिश्तेदार हैं, जब उनसे वो बहुत आपस में लड़ते हैं, ठीक है, एक दूसरे से बहुत करते हैं, जब मैं पहुंचता हूं वहां पर वकालत, ये क्या कहते हैं, रेफरी बनना पड़ता है कभी कभी मुझे, तो मैं जाके ऐसे ही सवाल पूछता हूँ तो अगला चुप हो जाता है। मैं तो अभी तो बहुत बोल रहे थे, तो चुप क्यों हो गए मेरे एक सवाल पे? जवाब दे दो भाई, मैं कौन सा गन लेके खड़ा होकर गोली चला दूंगा तूने जवाब गलत दिया तो। लेकिन वो चुप हो जाते हैं क्योंकि ना इधर जा सकते ना उधर मेरे सवाल के बाद। तो भाई किधर जाए भाई, फंस गए। तो कभी कभी इसको कहते हैं, अगर यही अगर हम मतलब ऑफिसर होते कोई और इन पे कोई केस चल रहा होता रवि पे, तो कल न्यूज़पेपर में पता है क्या लिखा था? कल न्यूज़पेपर में पता है क्या लिखा था? अगर मान लो हम सीबीआई में होते और रवि कोई पॉलिटिशियन होते और कोई केस उन पे चला होता और यही सिचुएशन आ जाती कि मैंने से कुछ पूछा और चुप हो गए हैं, तो कल पेपर में हेडलाइंस बनता, रवि सीबीआई के साथ कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहे हैं। आई बात समझ में? इसी को कहते हैं कोऑपरेट नहीं करना। तो उनको पता, वो कुछ बोल ही नहीं पा रहे, जबकि जैसे क्लियर अगर ये बात कोर्ट में जाएगी तो उनको गिल्टी का ठहरा दिया जाएगा, क्योंकि वो जवाब ही नहीं दे पा रहे इस बात का। आपके अकाउंट में 3 करोड़ रुपए कहां से आया? चुप। आपकी वाइफ की आमदनी 60,000 रुपए महीने है, आपके अकाउंट में 3, आपके घर में और कोई कमाने वाला है नहीं, ऐसे तो जवाब आएगा कि आप सीबीआई के साथ कोऑपरेट नहीं कर, बस यही होता है। तो समझिए, मैं आप लोग को सिखाने के लिए, डोंट वेस्ट माय टाइम प्लीज, because of your own insecurities and because of your own personality problems. I can handle your English problems, but not personality problems, okay? Please, you have to work on this. Next time I will not take a sentence unless you, do this, unless you accept what has happened here. And this has happened before with other people as well. Arish is saying, Ravi has done just the same which I did. चलो आरिश, लेट सही, तुम एक्नॉलेज कर इस बात को कि ऐसी गलती तुमने की है, बट आई एम ग्लैड दैट यू एक्सेप्ट। एंड बेटा, क्यों एक्सेप्ट जरूरी है? बिकॉज आई कैन हेल्प यू। ठीक है, जब आप खुद से लिखोगे तो आपसे गलतियां होंगी, एंड देन आई कैन हेल्प यू। मैं यहाँ क्या मदद करूं? एक सही सेंटेंस लिखा है, मैं क्या मदद करूं इसमें? लेकिन उसके दिमाग में सही जगह नहीं बना हुआ इसके लिए, तो वो दूसरा फिर से ऐसा लिख दे। प्लीज डोंट डू दैट। Okay, everybody, let's not waste any more time and focus on our learning. Yesterday I asked you to do some homework. There was an exercise where you had to match parts in 3 different columns, right, to make meaningful sentences. Let's look at them. Yeah. I have known John, because it is the present perfect. I have known John. It is the present perfect. So, yes, Sumit, you asked me a question, and that first line is correct or not? Yes. I studied English for 2 years. It means I don't study it now, but it is a finished action. It took place in the past. I lived there for 4 years. I'm not there anymore, but I was for 4 years. Okay. So right now, you cannot say I studied at STC. Right now, you cannot say that. Right now, you cannot say I studied at STC. When you are left, when you are gone from here, when you have left, then you can say I studied English at STC for, yeah, okay, whatever time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. If you say this now, then you will say I have studied, because you are still here. You are still here. Okay. So that's the difference. I have known John, the present perfect. So since 2015, since I was a child, for many years, okay? All these things are possible. And for over an hour is like a very unreal thing, okay? You don't say that. Don't say घंटे से जानते हैं उसको. You don't say that, okay? It is correct grammatically. I have known John for over an hour. I'm just telling you which options from B can go with A, because it is the present perfect. So you cannot go with from 2017 to 2019 because it is a past time expression. So it cannot go with the present perfect. The second one, for an hour, definitely. A month ago cannot be used with this. A month ago is a past time expression. Everybody understand from the way I'm explaining this. Sorry, since 2015 makes sense. I have known John since 2015. I have known John since I was a child. Okay. I have known John for ages. For ages means for a long time. I have known John for many years. That's also correct. 2 years ago will not be used again because 2 years ago is a time expression from the past. So you can use any one of these and then go to C. And then we met at university. Okay, sounds great, right? Any problems? And now that we choose we met at university, because of part C, which parts from B you can eliminate very clearly? Can you say since I was a child? Now, because if you say I've known John since I was a child, it is a correct sentence, but the next part cannot be we met at university. Okay. So you can say, I have known John since 2015. We met at, or an old man can say, I have known John for many years. We met at university. I have known John for ages. We met at university. Depends if an old man is saying this. But if a young man like you guys, somebody who is in his 30s, late 20s, they will say, I've known John since 2015. We met at university, because perhaps that man was at university in 2015. Make sense? All the logic? Okay. तो ये सारा लॉजिक जो हैंडल कर लेगा वही ना मेरी बात को अप्रिशिएट कर पाएगा दोस्तों। और इसके लिए कभी कभी आपको दोबारा तिबारा देखना पड़ सकता है वीडियो को, रिकॉर्डिंग को, कि भाई मैं तो बोलता चला गया जोश में। अब मैं उम्मीद करता हूं दैट एवरीबॉडी सिटिंग हियर कैन फॉलो माय लैंग्वेज, ओके? बट इन केस somebody is struggling to understand because perhaps I was too fast for them, then they have another option. They can watch the recording later, play it again and again, slow down the speed of the video as well on YouTube. Everything is possible. So please don't give me an excuse, okay, for your silly things. Okay, now number 2. I last went to the cinema. Now, all a month ago is possible. 2 years ago is possible. Only 2 things are possible. Anything else will not make sense. Some will not make sense for grammar reasons, and some will not make sense for which reason? I have a nice phrase to use here, okay? Okay, some will not make sense for syntactic reasons, and some will not make sense for semantic reasons. Okay, understand? Do you remember I talked about semantics and syntax? Okay, syntax is grammar and semantics is meaning. Okay, so if somebody says, I last went to the cinema from 2017 to 2019, the grammar is absolutely correct. Syntactically, it is perfect, no problems, okay? I last went to the cinema, but semantically, it doesn't make sense. It is just not possible, okay? But grammatically, there's nothing wrong with it. So you have to take care of both semantics and syntax. No problem, Sabha ma'am. You can keep your camera off, but I hope you will just pay as much attention as everybody else on what I'm saying or to what I'm saying, okay? Let's continue. So I last went to the cinema a month ago sounds best, or 2 years ago. These 2 are grammatically correct and they make sense as well. Now, which part from C goes with it?
The film was really boring.
Okay. 3, I've had this watch. Present perfect. So again, we can go with all those 4 options, okay? For over an hour is possible, okay? Grammatically possible. I have had this watch for over an hour is definitely possible grammatically, okay? Since 2015.
Since I was a child.
Since I was a child.
For many years.
All right. All these things are possible. But semantically means meaning-wise, which makes sense. I've had this watch in 2015. I've had this watch since I was a child. I've had this watch for ages. I've had this watch for many years. Now let's see which line from C makes sense here.
My grandpa gave it to me.
My granddad gave it to me. Now, because this is the response, we can still stay with for ages, for many years, since I was a child, right? Since 2015, all are possible, right? But one makes very, very good natural sense. Since I was a child, my granddad gave it to me, okay? Makes better sense, sounds more natural, okay? But the rest of them are correct too. In certain circumstances, certain context, we can use them. Let's move on to number 4. I lived in New York. I lived in New York. Past tense, okay? So the first time expression from 2017 to 2019 is perfect for this. Grammatically, totally fine, no problems. Absolutely. I lived in New York a month ago. Can do. A month ago, I lived in New York. Yeah, it's okay. We can say that. I lived in New York for ages. Makes sense, that for a long time I lived there. Yeah, I lived in New York for many years, also sounds good. I lived in New York 2 years ago, also sounds good. And let's come to C. I had a great time there. Okay.
I had a
So
great
the
time
most
there.
natural is I lived in New York from 2017 to 2019 because living somewhere has duration. Living somewhere has duration, and duration mentioned from 2017 to 2019. And I had a great time there. Okay. Next, unmute yourselves. Zafri, your mic is unmuted, please. Next, number 5. I've lived in this house. I've lived in this house. Present perfect. All those time expressions need to go away because in number 4 we had past. In the present perfect, I have lived in this house. Again, hey guys, actually the time expressions can be the same, no, but meaning will change. Please understand. I have lived in this house for ages. I have lived in this house since I was a child. I have lived in this house since 2015. I have lived in this house for many years. Okay. Um, and for over an hour as well, by the way. Technically, that is correct. Okay. But that is not very normal, natural to say. Now, the difference is I have lived in this house means I'm still here. I'm still in this house. But I lived in New York means now I don't live in New York. I lived in New York. Past tense, I lived in New York. I don't live there anymore. Okay, so text C. I've lived in this house and it's got a
It's got
beautiful
a
garden.
beautiful garden.
You can go with any. You can go with any. Okay, they will all sound the same, different meaning. Okay. Okay, we last had a holiday. We last had a holiday. Past tense, past time expressions, guys. Last had a holiday. Okay, a month ago, 2 years ago, sounds one of the two. Okay, because again, having a holiday is an event, is an event. Living somewhere is not an event, people. You live, this is what feeling of the language is. I cannot describe these things in a grammar class. No teacher can afford to say what I'm saying. Once my brother asked me a question, about how I would teach this particular structure. Okay. And I explained to him in my own way. And he said, you know what? You can only use this explanation for those students who have been learning English. They want to learn English. But if you give this explanation to those people who are not interested in learning the language, they want to know the right answer, they will never appreciate it. They will be all lost. They will say, what are you saying? It doesn't make sense. It will only make sense to those who understand the language. What my brother was saying is, if you're not at a certain level, a certain kind of explanation doesn't make sense to you. What Einstein said made sense to those who were in that field, not to common people. Okay. Common people couldn't understand what Einstein said. Okay. So similarly, this explanation here that I'm giving, that living is not an event. Having a holiday is an event. So that's why we last had a holiday a month ago and 2 years ago. One of the two sounds great. And which line from C will you go with for this? We went to Spain.
We went to Spain.
We went to Spain. क्या बोल गई मनीषा? कैसे छोड़ा तुमने टू?
We went to.
तो फीलिंग आनी चाहिए, वो टू की आदत होनी चाहिए, सबकॉन्शियस होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, ये नहीं कि तुम्हें डिसाइड करना है बोलने के लिए दोस्तों. ठीक है, तुम्हें सबकॉन्शियसली वो टू बोलना चाहिए. This is what they have, that man, the doctor साहब asked me कि आप कैसे डिसाइड कर रहे थे कि हाँ ये करना है वहां वो करना है, जब आप बेहोश थे तो. मैंने कहा सबकॉन्शियस में है वो, मेरे कॉन्शियस तो था नहीं, आपने मुझे एनेस्थीसिया दिया था. So I don't know what I was saying, but whatever I was saying was in my subconscious. Okay, the language has reached my subconscious. बस समझ में आई? अगर आपको एक टीचर होना है इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज का, तो इंग्लिश आपके कॉन्शियस माइंड की उपज नहीं होनी चाहिए, सबकॉन्शियस में होना चाहिए. अगर आपको एक लाइन समझना है, हाउ एम आई डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द टीचर्स यू हैव अराउंड यू, इंग्लिश इज इन देयर कॉन्शियस. तो बेहोश कर दो, इंग्लिश नहीं निकलना उनके मुंह से. ठीक, बट आई कैन प्रोड्यूस इंग्लिश अनकॉन्शियस बिकॉज इट आउट वहां से कहीं से. सबकॉन्शियस या अनकॉन्शियस मुझे पता नहीं है यहाँ पर क्या बोलना चाहिए टेक्निकली, लेकिन I can speak English, I can form English sentences even when I'm unconscious people. ठीक है, अभी इस बात को कैसे लेना चाहेंगे आप? थैंक यू, बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे आपका जवाब. आई रियली लाइक योर आंसर. आप लोग बताएं दोस्तों, क्या आपके अरमान है कि आप बेहोश होकर इंग्लिश बोले? तो अब हमारा टैग बदलना चाहेंगे. ज्वाइन एसटीसी अगर आपको बेहोशी में भी इंग्लिश बोलना सीखना है तो. दोस्तों, होश में भी बेहोशी में भी.
This one was good, sir.
अगेन मैं सच बोल रहा हूँ. ये इसका कोई आपको एविडेंस चाहिए, आप अभी भी जाइए, क्योंकि ये दोबारा उनके साथ नहीं हुआ होगा. ये लाइफ में उनके साथ एक बार हुआ होगा कि कोई पेशेंट, डॉक्टर अरुण आप जाइए, खाली इतना ही बोलिएगा, कोई पेशेंट आया था, हाथ का टूटा था, जो बेहोशी में इंग्लिश बोला था. बोला टीचर सर आए थे, उन्होंने कहा आपके साथ कुछ काम करना है, लेकिन मेरी पर्सनालिटी ऐसी है, मैं ज्यादा बना के नहीं रख पाता लोगों से. He was so impressed. He said, सर आपके साथ कुछ करना है, कुछ प्रोजेक्ट करना है. मैंने कहा जी जरूर. दोबारा, हालांकि I don't know whether I should say this. It was not his fault because he did not ask me for the money. He's a staff, created a situation. He mishandled my hand in a way that I had to go for the second operation. The first operation was successful and it was healing properly. But just to check whether it was healing or not, there was an X-ray needed, and he twisted my wrist so much, it was so painful for me. And then after that, X-ray, Dr. Saab said that you need another operation, the second operation. But then he did not ask me to pay for that. I think 7,000 was the charge. I had paid 2,000, my brother had paid 2,000, and the rest 5,000, he said, no need to pay. So, chalo, theek hai. But my hand is not the same, It could never become the same. The strength, if I hold you with this hand, even a child can easily, escape my grip. I don't have any strength in this grip. It works, but it doesn't have the strength. Isse pakadunga, then there will be something like, but no strength. Oh, life. Okay.
How did it happen, sir?
I was coming back from my wife's village on my bike, and maybe I was very emotional, I was in an emotional state of mind, and I was accelerating my bike and stopping it, I was just doing something, thinking about something else, and I don't know what happened next. I have no recollection of what actually happened. I woke up lying on the side of the road. There were lots of people around me.
Oh my God.
क्या हुआ है? अरे आपका एक्सीडेंट हुआ? अच्छा, बाइक इधर है. ओके. एंड आपके घर फोन कर दिए. It was like a dream that moment, it didn't, surreal कहते हैं, surreal is the word. I felt it was all surreal. I had heard that people have accidents and all, and it had actually happened with me. I didn't know, but then my mom, when she got the call that I had an accident on the bike, she didn't know what was wrong with me. It was just my some injury here. My, these two bones, the ligament had fractured and the two bones had separated. So it was kind of bad, but not life-threatening or something. I didn't have any bad injury because I did not bump into a vehicle or something. I might have just lost balance because I was, trying to abruptly apply the brakes. When I accelerated very fast, I was trying to check how quickly can I stop my bike, when yeah, I was all by myself. I remembered that I was doing this, but I don't know how exactly this happened. People say that because when you have an accident, the pain is so bad that your mind forgets about that moment. Otherwise, you will remember that pain you felt. So most people, when they have an accident, they don't have the memory of the impact. अगर किसी ने आपको बहुत जोर से मारा है सिर पे, तो आप जब वापस सही होएंगे तो आपको याद नहीं आएगा को कैसे लगा था चोट. Because that memory will be painful ना, उतना चोट वाला. So that's why it just your mind deletes that file. वो याद ही नहीं रहता, वो चोट नहीं याद रहती. Because the impact was so huge, If you recall that, it will be painful in itself, itself. Yeah. Where were we?
Thank God, sir, you are alive. Because accidents are very...
32.
I had also an accident, sir, when I was going to your class at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I was going with, sir, going with my papa on bike. and
Yeah.
I got accident. Nothing happened. I just मतलब
Well,
सिर्फ बेहोश हुए थे.
I lost
सर
my
पे
consciousness. I
yeah.
passed out.
Yeah, sir, I passed out and थोड़ा बहुत चोट था सर पे. That's it. And मुझे भी कुछ नहीं याद है, आज तक नहीं याद है कैसे हुआ था.
Exactly.
Sir, a funny incident. I had an accident when I was just sir, bus se utarna,
Get off the bus.
get off the bus, and I fall down. Means a auto rickshaw pulled me. मुझे धक्का दे दिया. And
Push.
my daughter
Hit
pushed
you.
me,
Hit you.
or hit me, and my daughter was crying for grapes. I was there lying on the road. I have means the bleed. I had bleeding means
I was bleeding.
I was bleeding, and my daughter was crying for मम्मा grapes गिर गया, सारा अंगूर गिरा दिया आपने.
Now you know your daughter loves grapes more than she loves you.
Today I am laughing, but that day my daughter is under the wheel of the bus, and that was really very.
She was almost under. I think you want to say she was almost under the wheel, right?
Yes, sir, yes.
She was almost under the wheel. Okay. All right, guys. So टैगलाइन बढ़िया सा सोच लेना अगर किसी में इमेजिनेशन है तो ठीक. अंग्रेजी बोलना सीखें बेहोशी में ऐसा ऐसा कुछ करके, because that is what I'm gonna sell now. Okay. Yeah. With the testimony of that guy, Dr. Arun. Yeah. Okay. कैसे पहुंचे वहां तक? No, seriously, I want you to think about it. कैसे पहुंचोगे? Next. I haven't seen you. All the present perfect time expressions since 2015, since I haven't seen you since I was a child, for ages, for many years. All these are possible technically, but which makes sense. I haven't seen you for ages. Okay, I haven't seen you since 2015. Okay, the most natural will be I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been? Where have you? Oh, what have you been up to? What have you been up to?
What have you been up to?
Do you know what it literally means? What have you been up to? It literally translates into, no, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Yes, exactly. कहाँ थे? क्या कर रहे थे? What have you been up to? Okay. Yeah, exactly.
What were you
कहाँ थे?
engaged
क्या
in?
हो रहा था? क्या चल रहा है अब तक? क्या चल रहा है? What have you been up to? Okay. Acha, just would like to give you some more practice for this. What have you been up to? So, Diana, you leave your child. Oh my God, Sunita, how did you transform suddenly? You came first, then you were not looking like this. I think this girl has some other intentions for being in the class. Yeah. Sunita, when you first came to the class, you were not looking like this. Then what happened?
Actually, from today, whole day I was too busy. I didn't take bath. So right now I did this. So that's why. And
you were saying that you took the mobile to the bathroom while you were having the bath. During the class. During the class.
No, sir.
You had a bath during the class.
Sir, I left. Then now I'm in the class. Sir.
Why? Well, no, I'm just curious. I mean, she didn't look like this when she joined. Okay, now she's suddenly looking all ready to go to a party or something. Okay, all glamored up. Okay. So I'm amazed if you did that. If you managed to have a bath during the class and then attend the class, didn't miss the, I don't know. You are very talented, then I will say. Okay. I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been? What have you been up to? So, Diana, no, Sunita, I didn't want you to turn off your camera. If you want to show yourself, on camera, you can be, no problems. Don't let me, embarrass you like that. Okay. It's just, I was just being a little curious, that you look different when you first joined. Diana, imagine you enter, your bedroom and you find your baby, doing something mischievous. Maybe he has or she has applied all your cosmetic creams on her face or his face or something. And then you come in and you say, baby, what have you been up to? What have you been? Yeah, okay, which clearly you understand. You're shocked, you're surprised. क्या कर रहे हो तुम? क्या कर रहे हो? Right? Like this. What have you been up to?
But Indian mom.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think I've taught you the difference between I am lucky and I have been lucky. I'm lucky and I have been lucky. I am lucky only focuses on now. I have been lucky focuses on the past and the present. I was lucky and I am lucky. I have been lucky. Okay. I'm lucky means I'm lucky. Okay. So similarly, what are you up to focuses on now. And what have you been up to in past and present? Like this, duration. What are you up to right now? Okay. For example, I am teaching and a student is doing something else. Okay, then I'll say, what are you up to? Because I'm talking about this moment. Okay, I hope you understand. But if I realize that somebody's been doing it for quite some time, then I can say, what have you been up to, huh? Okay. What are you up to? Focuses on the present. What have you been up to? Because it is present perfect. It focuses on the duration from the past up to the present. I know him, I have known him. Understand? Starting in the past, continuing to the present, probably in the future, probably, not necessarily, okay? Some situations will, some will not. What have you been up to? Mom comes home and finds his son totally, dirty. Then mom will say, what have you been up to? Because it's not the situation of suddenly now. He must have been busy with something that has created this situation. What have you been up to? Okay. Any problems, anyone? So she is beautiful. She has been beautiful. You understand the focus shifts slightly? When you say she is beautiful, you're appreciating her current looks. And when you say she has been beautiful, then you're trying to imply that she was beautiful, and she is beautiful.
Sir, you ask what you been up to. Can I answer? I have been doing something else.
Yep. Of course, ma'am. Of course you can. Of course. Of course you can say that.
Sir, I am living here since 2020 is also correct, isn't it?
I have been?
No, I am living here since 2020.
No, that's not correct English. You were here yesterday, weren't you? And I
No,
taught.
sir.
You were not here yesterday. Please
But
watch.
I watched the recording.
Oh,
Otherwise,
that's why you're asking. That's why you're asking. Okay, fine. I understand. Beta, in the Hindi, we can say this. In Hindi, present tense is enough. In Spanish, present tense is enough. In Italian, present tense is enough. But in English, you need the present perfect for the duration. How long? Okay. So I have been living. I have lived. Okay. Present perfect. Whether simple or continuous is another issue, but they're both present perfect. I have been living is also present perfect. I have lived is also present perfect. One is present perfect simple and the other is present perfect continuous. Present perfect has two tenses, simple and continuous. When I say I have lived, it is present perfect simple. And when I say I have been living, this is present perfect because there is have and there is been, which is the third form. So it is the present perfect. And then living.
I have been learning.
Yes, Afri.
I have been learning English for 2 years.
Yeah, that's present perfect continuous. You can say this in the present perfect simple too. I have learned English for 2 years. And the meaning remains very much the same. Okay, it doesn't change. Yeah. Meaning doesn't change. Yeah. Good. Last one. We haven't had a break for ages. We haven't had a break for ages. काफी लंबे समय से break नहीं लिया है. For ages can mean 30 years and for ages can mean 2 hours as well, but it is a long time. Depends. A child studied, a small child, let's say a 6-year-old child, studied for 2 years. Okay, what will you say? इतना देर से पढ़ रहे हैं हम।
2 hours.
हाँ 2 घंटे से पढ़ा। वो अपने बारे में क्या बोलेगा, इतना देर से पढ़ रहे हैं हम, बिकॉज ही इज अ चाइल्ड, फॉर हिम 2 hours, तो बोलेगा आई हैव बीन स्टडीइंग फॉर एजेस। ओके ओके, यू वेटेड फॉर योर गर्लफ्रेंड इन द रेस्टोरेंट फॉर 10 minutes, बट आपको नहीं, रुक जाओ, मैं इसको थोड़ा और इंटरेस्टिंग बनाता हूँ। यू वेटेड फॉर योर गर्लफ्रेंड फॉर 2 hours एंड देन शी शोड अप। ओके, यू डिडंट कंप्लेन, यू जस्ट सेड we couldn't make it on time. No, it's okay. Next day, you were late by 10 minutes. And she said, I've been waiting for you for ages. I hope you understood the point here. It's about the person who is feeling it. You can't quantify these things. ये number लगा देते हैं, इतना रहेगा तो ages बोलना. It's a feeling. When you are a new learner, elementary learner, beginner, then what you do? You want to quantify all those things which express emotions. जैसे एक बोलते सर, समटाइम्स को कितना बार में समटाइम्स बोल सकते हैं सर? सर ऑफन में कितना टाइम बोलेंगे सर? यूजुअली में कितना टाइम होगा? क्वांटिफाई करना चाहते हैं कि नंबर बता दो। फीलिंग नहीं ले रहे कि अरे हिंदी में भी ऐसे वर्ड्स हैं कि अक्सर, ठीक है, कभी कभी तो की फीलिंग है कि लेस फ्रीक्वेंटली, तो समटाइम्स, मोर फ्रीक्वेंटली, यूजुअली। ओके, तो दीज आर वर्ड्स यू डोंट वांट टू क्वांटिफाई देम। ओके, क्वांटिफाई मतलब समझ गया ना, उस पर नंबर लगा देना, नंबर लगा देना उस पर कि इतना बार रहेगा तो ऐसे। अब बोले कि ही इज फैट, कि कितना किलो का रहेगा तो फैट बोलेंगे। ओके राइट, ओके, कितने किलो का रहेगा तो फैट बोलेंगे। व्हाट इज द पर्सन आस्किंग टू डू? द पर्सन इज आस्किंग टू क्वांटिफाई फैट। हाउ कैन यू? इट्स अ फीलिंग। Maybe a person is fat to my opinion, in my opinion, and that person is not fat to other people.
And sir, height also might be.
Exactly. So these things are subjective. How can you quantify them? Because the moment you quantify something, it becomes objective. For example, a kilo is 1000 grams. It doesn't change for anybody, right? But whether it is heavy or not heavy, how can you put a quantity there that if it is 30 kilos, it is heavy? Maybe for, what is his name? Khali, 30 kilo is nothing. For a child, 30 kilo is impossible weight. तो ये कॉमन सेंस क्यों नहीं लगाते लोग? ये सब क्यों सीखते समय ये सब चीज भूल जाते हैं अपने लैंग्वेज में, कि ऐसा काउंट नहीं करते हम लोग? क्यों चाहते हैं कि हेवी बताना है तो कितना किलो बता दें हम, कि इतना किलो रहेगा तो हेवी बोलना है? ओके, मूव ऑन. We haven't had a break for ages. I really need a coffee. We haven't had a break for over an hour. I really need a coffee.
Coffee.
Okay. Yeah.
I really need a coffee.
Everybody done? I'll put 6.4 for you in the group, and you guys will listen and practice. If you have any more questions later, you can ask me tomorrow. 6.4. Yeah. Was there a question somebody was trying to ask? Please go ahead and ask me. We have time.
No, sir.
6.4. Exercise 3. Complete the interview with Vicky. Acha, chalo, let's play 6.4 one time. Okay? Because I want it in the audio as well, in the recording as well. 6.4. Listen.
6.4. For or since? 1.
I've known John for many years. We met at university.
2.
I last went to the cinema a month ago. The film was really boring.
3.
I've had this watch since I was a child. My granddad gave it to me.
4.
I lived in New York from 2017 to 2019. I had a great time there.
5.
I've lived in this house since 2015. It's got a beautiful garden.
6.
We last had a holiday 2 years ago. We went to Spain.
Fine.
7.
I haven't seen you for ages. What have you been up to?
8.
We haven't had a break for over an hour. I really need a coffee.
6.4.
So the father,
For or since?
the father came to hostel, to meet his son, but the son was out, as usual. He didn't know because the father decided to surprise his son. So he met his friends in inverted comma, because they told him a few things his son was doing. Okay. And then he finally meets his son and he says, हमको सब पता चल गया तुम क्या कर रहे हो यहाँ. I know what you have been up to here. I know what you have been up to here. क्योंकि वो उस दिन की बात नहीं कर रहा, उस मोमेंट की बात नहीं कर रहा है. He is talking about past and now. I know what you have been up to. I don't think I will leave you here anymore. You're coming back with me. All right. Examples clarity लाते दिमाग में, right? जितने examples यहाँ, I try to add some more examples from my side because I know your taste, I know your your, what do I say, intellectual level as well, and your age as well, and this helps me decide क्या बोलूं तो आखिर आसानी से समझ में आ जाए. So I hope you understand this. Have been up to. Excuse me, सबा जी, आपसे बात करते हैं. Because you ask, इसका ये जवाब दे सकते हैं. चलिए मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ, सबा जी, मुझे 3-4 ऐसे सिचुएशन दें जहां पे आप ये सवाल पूछेंगे, what have you been up to? प्लीज, कहाँ बोल सकते हैं सबा जी? प्लीज engage with me. सबा जी, are you there?
Sir, when I arrived in party and I didn't see you, then I asked you, I
Okay, so we are both at the same party, you're saying, and you haven't
yes,
seen me for some time. So you
yes, sir.
finally spot me. Maybe you have been looking, ढूंढ रही थी मुझे, right? और मैं आपको
Yes,
मिला.
sir.
And then you said, sir, what have you been up to? लेकिन आपको मैं
Yes,
बता
sir.
दूं, पार्टी में अगर आप ऐसे मुझसे पूछेंगे तो इसका मतलब आप मेरे पर थोड़ा सा ये इशारा कर रहे हैं कि आप कुछ बदमाशी कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? What have you been up to? हालांकि बोला भी जा सकता है नॉर्मल में भी, तो लेकिन ठीक है. ओके फाइन, चलिए बहुत अच्छा. अब मैं क्या जवाब दे सकता हूँ? व्हाट कुड आई रिप्लाई इन दैट सिचुएशन? प्लीज टेल मी इन हिंदी. हिंदी में क्या जवाब दे सकते हैं? हाँ यार, नहीं, बस इधर इधर देख रहे थे, इधर उधर बस ऐसे लोग रहे
इधर
थे.
उधर लड़कियों को देख रहे हैं.
अरे यार, ऐसा कौन बोलता है?
No,
तो
sir.
ऐसा नहीं बोलता है कोई. बेवकूफ रहता है, ऐसा ऐसा बोलता है. ओके, सब होंगे पंडित है ना. तो वी विल से नथिंग, आई बीन जस्ट लुकिंग अराउंड, आई बीन जस्ट, यही ना.
I have been just looking around.
I was just looking the menu. What is there for?
Yeah, things like this. Okay, yes, exactly, the menu. Yes,
Yes, sir.
not the dish menu though. Okay, number 3, questions and answers. समझ गई ना? इसमें जरूरी नहीं कि have been के साथ हमेशा वो बोला जाए, अलग तरीके से भी जवाब दे सकते हैं, डिपेंड करता है. ओके. What have you been up to? I know what you have been up to. The father said to his son. What do you mean? What have I done? Son क्या बोलेगा? हाँ, क्या बोलने का मतलब, क्या किए हम, यही बोलेगा ना. When the father said, I know what you have been up to. You're coming back home with me. I can't leave you in the hostel alone anymore. Your friends have told me what you have been up to. तो आपका जवाब क्या होगा? What do you mean, Papa? Huh? What did I do? Who did you talk to? They're all my enemies. They say all the false things about me. Okay, आप थोड़ी आप बीन कुछ बोलेंगे वहां पर. I hope you understand. तो depends on the context. जवाब आप प्लान नहीं करो, आप समझो कि कैरेक्टर जो जवाब देगा वो कैसे बोलेंगे. यस और नो? आपका प्रॉब्लम है कि जब आप क्वेश्चन सोच रहे हो तो उसके बाद आंसर सोचो. क्वेश्चन समझो, उसका मतलब क्या है. आंसर आपको अपनी मदर टंग में ख्याल आएगा, क्या जवाब होगा, जो होगा वो बोलेंगे. सीख रहे हैं ये वाला. तो आप समझ
Yes,
रहे हैं
sir.
मेरी बात सबा जी?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, आपको जो भी जवाब देगा हमें आना चाहिए. बोलना कि ये जवाब दिया तो ऐसे बोलेंगे, वो जवाब दिया तो ऐसे. अरे कहाँ कुछ, बस इधर उधर घूम रहे थे. I've been just walking around. Okay. Number 3, everybody, complete the interview with Vicky. That what tense is used in each question? Okay. Where do you live, Vicky? Come on, everybody, complete. First, you guys complete, and then I'll check. Everybody, complete. Number 3, exercise 3. Someday I'll tell you the whole truth. Not now, not in a position. Okay. So where were we? Where do you live, Vicky? In a flat near the town center?
Near the town center.
How long?
Have you been living
Have
there?
you been there? Living there.
Okay, everybody, wait, stop. Did you use the past tense or the present perfect tense?
Present
Perfect.
perfect tense or
Present
present
perfect.
perfect continuous.
Present perfect, right? Yes. And because the person lives there, so you have to connect it with the present. So present perfect makes sense, right? Yeah, very good job. Present perfect is good. Now, because you chose present perfect, there are multiple options in the present perfect. For example, we can say, how long have you lived there? How long have you been there? How long have you been living there? All are correct, guys. But we will stay with how long have you lived there? How long have you lived there?
Lived
That we
there.
can compare. Where do you live? How long have you lived there? Just to compare. Otherwise, how long have you been there is also correct. How long have you been living there is also correct. But for the sake of the exercise or the lesson, we will stay with how long have you lived there? For 3 years? Number 3. So why?
Why did you move there?
Why did you move there?
Because I wanted to walk to work.
Because I wanted to walk to work.
Yeah. What did he not want to do?
He did not want to use bus to
By
reach her.
bus, car, understand? Yeah, taxi. Number 4. And what
And
do you
what do you do?
And what do you do?
and what do you do? बहुत मुश्किल अभी लगेगा मुझे पता है गलती सही कर दिया सारा शो मी गलत लिखा है तो बता क्या लिखा है
Yes, sir.
हाँ बोले
What do you work?
What do you do? वही तो मैं कह रहा था कि गलत तो है ना इसको What do you do? बहुत आसान सेंटेंस है लेकिन गलती होती है इसमें क्या करते हो वैसे तुम And what do you do? I work for a pharmaceutical firm. How long?
Have you been there?
Worked
How
there?
long? फिर
How
से मैं
long?
बोलता हूँ Have you worked there? मैं accept करूंगा बाकी सब सही है How long have you worked there? क्योंकि तुमने कहा what do you do? तो I work for a pharmaceutical firm. तो how long have you worked there? ताकि comparison हो सके simple और present perfect में यहाँ पे How long have you worked there? Since 2015.
2015. Yeah.
Number 6.
So what did you do before that?
What did you do before that?
I was a student in Edinburgh. I can tell you one good thing about my class now, right now, and a good thing about you guys. In many classes, boys and girls kind of lose focus on learning, and they lose focus from learning, and they start getting carried away, and paying too much attention on the female, members of the class. I'm pretty sure you guys have been part of that class as well because it happens. It happens more often than not. But luckily, in this pre-intermediate class, we haven't seen that. That's one reason I think why you guys are all, improving so much because you're not here for any alternative, purpose, reason. You're here because you want to improve. So your focus is on that as well. And I really want to commend you guys because there are some pretty girls in the class, but still you guys just mind your own business, which is pretty good. However, Sunita is trying her, I think she's trying, to play Vishwamit, Menaka to all the Vishwamitras here. Yeah.
But I'm not getting, sir. What do you want to say?
How dare you come on camera with all that lipstick and all that, glamour makeup? How dare you tell me? What did you want to do to my young kids here?
didn't do this. I off my camera, but by mistake it's on, and right now I'm going somewhere, so that's why I did this.
Yeah, finally she has decided what she has to say. She went all quiet when I said that, right? And now in half an hour, 40 minutes, she has used all her imagination. This is what I'm going to say. It was not for the class. I am going somewhere. Yes, Sunita. Good luck. Have fun wherever you are going. Okay, don't mind.
Uh,
Don't. Sunita.
Everyone has married. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
not.
Sunita. Everyone has what? She's going to say
Now
something mean. I can.
in Delhi, there are so many parties and marriage.
And
So
everyone has their own mind. Everyone has their dirty thinking like I do, right?
sorry.
No, 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 she was not saying that. Sunita, you see, you are struggling to have a conversation with me, okay, right now. It's not that what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense. A lot of people understand. So that itself tells you how much you need to improve your English because you fail to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of things, right, Sumit?
I'm understanding, but
You understanding? You understanding,
in
Sunita?
different kind of meanings, sir.
What different type of meaning? I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you because you are an interesting person in a certain way. You know, you why you're interesting in a certain way because you don't do your homework. Remember, everybody, I'm gonna do this to Sunita every day. I'm gonna ask her every day 2 or 3 times. Have you done your homework, Sunita? And she will say, no, sir. And I will say nothing more because I've already told her, prove me wrong. I've already made my prediction. Okay. So I will ask you 2, 3 times so that people don't have to search every time in the early of the class, in the beginning of the class, and at the beginning of the class and at the end of the class. This part will be there. Sunita has not done her homework. And this will be every day. Prove me wrong. That, sir, your reading of my personality was wrong. I'm a very hardworking girl. I'm gonna do my studies. I'm here to learn, and I really value what you're teaching me, and I'm going to practice what you're teaching me. Okay. I want
Sir,
you to.
your pre-intermediate class is going to be good because there are two old ladies like me and Roshana as well. Don't forget that.
This class.
Yes, sir. Yes, class.
This class is fun because of the 2 old ladies, Rosanna and you.
Not fun, good.
Then
Sir, right now I'm going to interrupt in between and wants to say something. Nowadays, sir, I'm too busy and
you are relocating your
even
shop. You are relocating your shop. I know. I know. You are relocating your.
I, my focus is not going to
I can
study.
understand. I can understand. I'm waiting for the day. I don't want. I don't want to let you go. Okay. As long as this course it continues, you will be here, and I hope you'll prove me wrong. Okay. That's what I hope. I hope I said. Okay. I hope means I'm chahte ye. Okay. I hope that she proves me wrong. But I also have this feeling that she will fail to prove me wrong. Okay. So
Sir, what does the word loop means?
which
You
word?
used sometimes ago uh, the word loop.
Loop.
Uh, you were saying, sir, that Sunita is trying to loop us, something like that. You were saying.
Don't remember. You're not helping me. Sunita is gonna do what? Sunita, I don't know. I said a lot of things, But one thing about
I didn't
Sunita, you know,
interrupt that time.
she just makes me so she gives me that kind of. I hope she never changes, okay? Because then I will look stupid if she changes. Okay, she just allows me to be funny, with her, and I love it, Sunita. I really admire this, and I kind of feel I'll say, grateful as well that you don't take it otherwise, But Sunita, you are here to learn English. Remember that. You have to work hard sooner or later, okay? Better sooner than later, actually. And everybody else, आपको मेहनत तो करना पड़ेगा दोस्तों. मैं ऐसे कैसे आपको अपनी तरफ से आगे बढ़ा दूं? कुछ नहीं पुश कर सकता ऐसे.
Something new. Earlier I don't have that much understanding about English language. Whenever I joined this, then I improve myself a lot. So I can say that I'm improving.
ये तो तुम्हारी राय है ना, मेरी राय तो वो नहीं है ना. My opinion is you're still stuck where you started.
Seeing my improvement, that's another thing. But sooner or later, we will do that.
Whose opinion matters, the teachers or the students? Savaji, why did you count yourself among old women? That's my question. You and Rasana are in the class, and I agree. But what did you mean? I said there are some pretty ladies in the class, and the girls are the guys are still focused on learning. That's what I said. So you tried to maybe make a comment about that, but in what way? I just didn't understand. Please say that one more
Sir,
time, maybe.
I want to say me and Roshana like as a old
Ladies here.
you just say guardian. Me and Roshana like so I
That's why
don't.
the boys are behaving themselves, because they
Yes,
have two
sir.
guardians here, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing, Savaji. I love that comment. Because there are two guardians, watching over you guys. All right.
Yes,
So that's why you're behaving. Otherwise, Sunita had you guys. Sunita had you,
We are
Otherwise,
having female citizens, sir.
had you. मतलब नहीं तो सुनीता ने तुमको फंसा लिया था, ठीक है, वो वाला सुनीता had you. ये इंग्लिश में ना, मुझे फिर से बताते हैं, जितना कैजुअल बातचीत करेंगे ना, उतना बढ़िया इंग्लिश में से, क्योंकि हम ज्यादा पढ़े लिखे आदमी नहीं है भाई, ठीक है, बात सीधी सी है, मेरे पास दुनिया भर की जानकारी नहीं है, थोड़ी सी समझ है, तो थोड़ी बातचीत, कैजुअल बातचीट करते रहो, and I'll teach you a lot of English, okay? So, fine. I can teach you English, but I am not an educated person. You have to understand that. Okay, I'm not very highly educated. So
sir,
I'll
you
see.
are teacher. Me and Roshana are guardian. For
Yeah,
in
absolutely. I'm very happy if you guys take on that role, because that kind of makes me very relaxed. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. And let's continue with this the way it is, guys. First page of Unit 6 in the practice book, homework, because you've done enough in the main book. First page of Unit 6. First page of Unit 6. Everybody, I'll put it in the group though. Okay, bye bye.
Sir,
Which page number, sir?
I have a
First
question.
page of Unit 6 in the practice
I have
book.
a
Yes. What's your question?
Earlier you said something like Sunita had you. Had you.
अरे मैंने कहा कि देखिए, दो लोग, इन लोग तुम लोग को गाइड ये कर रहे हैं, नजर रखे हो, नहीं तो सुनीता ने तो तुम्हें तो कर ही दिया था with her lipstick and all, okay? But but because the boys are being watched over, so they are behaving themselves. Okay, that's nice. Okay, ये सब मजाक है, आप सबको समझ में आता है ना? ये सब सिर्फ ह्यूमर के लिए बोला जा रहा है. I hope you guys appreciate that, okay? Nothing to be taken seriously at all, okay? We are here for a sincere job, learning English. But we are learning English while enjoying ourselves without being bothered, okay? And that's a good thing, okay? Fine, I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Good morning, sir.